Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and today we're going to go over an in-depth housing market update. I'm going to start with the laws of supply and demand, and I'm going to end with buyer's remorse for 2023. And I really hope you guys enjoy this video. I've spent a tremendous amount of time just to figure out all of the data sets, what we should be watching, and how to create a flow so that y'all would enjoy. And if you guys can, don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a normal guy, even though my bio is as a crash bro, or rather a Dr. Crash Bro, is someone that wants to be cautious with your money. And I want people to make smart decisions when it comes to purchasing real estate. And for that, guys, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment below, and definitely share this housing market update video. Now, I want to start with the laws of supply and demand. This is a huge argument, y'all, from realtors and from bulls alike. And I wanted to let y'all know that I perfectly understand the laws of supply and demand. And I wanted to show you essentially where we were at with the laws of supply and demand right now. Now, I've highlighted where we're at. Essentially, the supply right now, shockingly, has remained consistent, which I thought it would actually go up, but supply has remained consistent. And what we have right now, first time in a long time, we have a 4-year low as far as August, a 4-year low of demand. And that was one of the missing elements from continued price decline. The demand shot back up. But now that demand is going down, once again, you guys can see here, next step is inventory levels will go up and price change, as you can see here, will go lower. So again, the one thing that I've been saying this whole time, toxic home buying, and thank goodness it's coming to an end. Now, just for kicks and giggles, I went to ChatGPT and I typed in, when does the supply and demand model of a market break down? There's actually things that break the laws of demand, and I'm going to show you guys that right now. But let's see what ChatGPT had to say. The supply and demand model of a market can break down in several situations. For example, when there is a lack of information about the market, when there are external factors that impact the market, such as government regulations, and when there are market participants with significant market power. Additionally, the model may also break down in the presence of market inefficiencies, such as market manipulation, home values only go up, just refinance later, and when market participants act in a non-rational manner. 93% buyer's remorse survey for 2023, such as during bubbles or crash conditions. I dug even further into breaking the rules of supply and demand. The ways that supply and demand laws are broken is Veblen goods and Giffen goods. What this essentially means is people are buying based on status and based on emotions. Basically, the higher the price goes, the higher demand goes. So price go up, demand goes up. And that's exactly what we saw back in 2022, the middle of 2022. We saw so much emotional buying. And actually, during 4 months of this year, we saw this same effect happen. Now, this is a report done based on the last great financial collapse and is going into the Veblen effect in the US housing market sector. This was done from the Singapore University. This was trying to see if the emotions cause a bigger bust or a bigger boom, and does it even safeguard it from happening? And I really found what's interesting is if we scroll down here to the explanation of table 5. It's right here, y'all. I've highlighted it. Basically, this is what these statistical significancies translate into economic significancies of a 15% change, and they're talking about the premium or home value. So they're saying when people emotionally buy based on the Veblen effect, house value goes up 15.4% during the boom period. However, they go down 24.1% change in the housing premium during the bust period. Very interesting report. I will have it linked if you want to go into this more. This is a thesis from 2013, essentially going into housing as the ultimate Giffen good. In other words, what I'm trying to tell you is the housing market actually numerous times in America has violated and broken the laws of demand. This is a very, very interesting thing. I just want to read the first part of the thesis. In our view of housing as a given good, demand and price interact reflexively as demand chases price higher, which in turn drives further price appreciation in a virtuous cycle. The massive equity run-up broke the laws of supply and demand because so much emotional purchasing was done. And we can really start to understand the significance of the fear of missing out purchasing when we dig in more to this article, which actually goes into Dr. Schiller, who makes the Case-Shiller home value charts, on what he thinks is happening in the housing market. Now, the title of this article is "The Fear of Missing Out Helped Drive Up Housing Prices in the Pandemic. What Can We Expect Next?" Now, I've highlighted just a few things. And again, this is someone that we should be listening to. And he also warned people of the last impending collapse. So again, you guys, I think it's especially important to pay attention to what this man is saying. Now, the fear of missing out has been alive and well. It is a deep-seated emotion that may have no logical connection with any extreme forecasts. Most people stay in their purchased home for many years. Their identities, their sense of meaning, their love tend to all be tied up in their home. Now, wonder why the fear of missing out may be triggered by that thought. At any time of stress that we may have just missed out on a once in a lifetime opportunity to afford the dream home. So people may be chasing after what they missed out on when we had low interest rates right before that equity run up. It makes sense. This goes on to say, one has to reflect on the swirl of emotions that affect many of us these days and recognize their legitimacy, but not overreact to high prices. And this is important, listen to what this man is saying, an absolute genius. He's saying, take a long time to search for your dream home, even as mortgage rates are going up. And don't forget that real inflation corrected prices may be substantially lower after this wave of fear of missing out and other factors promoting high home prices during the pandemic weaken with time. This is so important to understand because it goes into my theory that as soon as that toxic home buying stops, there will be nothing left to prop up these home prices, and naturally, home prices will shoot down in most and many metro areas. Briefly going into demand, this was the updated report from Redfin. And obviously, guys, guess what? We have our fourth week in a row of decreasing median sales price and increasing supply and also decreasing demand. Literally, all the things that we need, if we just look at the laws of supply and demand, these are literally all the things we need for a continuation of supply increase and price decrease. And you can see here by looking at the orange line, we are at a 4-year low as far as an August low of demand. You can see that right here. And now that demand is lower, again, naturally supply will go up and prices will go down. This is the thing that we needed to stop. And you guys can see it upticked right here. This was when the Fed basically bailed out the banks. And when this uptick in demand here, essentially that drove prices up. You guys can see it's almost under the 125 line. I think it's going to get there this week. We'll keep an eye on that. But again, if we just look at the laws of supply and demand, things are changing, and they're changing right now. And we see that strongly when it comes to new home construction. New home construction, I've been saying this is going to lead price decline. And also, as far as builders, generally what I've noticed is Lennar is going to lead other builders to do price cuts. And when we look at Austin, we can see price cuts. This first price cut right here, y'all, $203,000 price cut. This next one right here, not that much. We got another price cut right here. I mean, look at all these price cuts right now that are going on in Austin. Some of these is over $100,000, $50,000. I mean, the price cuts are out of control. Everything practically is shaved. And that's not just in Texas. Now, this has just recently happened. And I want to show you guys more states. I'm going to show you guys 3 more states just to let you guys know. In fact, the price cuts are actually spreading and rapidly. Let's look at Florida real quick. I'm going to go to Pensacola and really show you guys what's going on in Pensacola. Let me move my picture over here a little bit to the left. I mean, look at the price cuts. The first price cut, over $40,000 price cut in Florida. That's right, you guys. In Florida, price cuts happening right now. Look at these price cuts. These are healthy price cuts, 30, $40,000 price cuts, and the list just keeps going. Multiple price cuts here in Florida, in the Pensacola area. Now, going back to the map, let me also show you South Carolina, specifically the Charlotte area, because there are massive price cuts going on right now in Charlotte. You guys can see it to the left of my screen. Look at these price cuts, and that's on top of this $10,000 incentive that they're offering. But massive price cuts here, you guys. Again, South Carolina, you could start to see it a little bit further down on the list. $20,000 price cut right here. I mean, the list keeps going on. Another $20,000 price cut. This price cut is almost $50,000. So again, it is spreading. Here's a $41,000 price cut. Here's a price cut right here. Over $80,000 price cut right here. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And just real quick, one more state. You guys already went to Nevada and Arizona. The price cuts haven't hit Las Vegas or Phoenix yet, but I'm still watching that. They may hit tonight. Who knows? This is happening really fast. But when we go to Central California, look at the price cuts. This is Vital Signs area. You guys, the price cuts are even happening in our good friend Vital Signs neck of the woods, right? I don't know how much, other construction is in these areas, but I would assume a lot if Lennar's right there. But you guys, look at to the left of me. Huge price cuts. I mean, there's a $30,000 price cut. Here's another $30,000 price cut. Here's just a little tiny baby price cut of $10,000. Another $20,000 price cut. And this is in California, right? Super tough California, no inventory in California. Well, it doesn't matter because these prices cannot be propped up, even with absolutely insane buying incentives in the heat of the market, which is essentially spring and summer home buying. This data chart right here is especially fascinating. This gives us the median sales price for new homes sold in the United States. And really what I want to show you guys is I want to let you guys know that really new home values never rebounded at all like existing homes. All that happened with new home values is they propped it up for a little bit longer because the market was not used to insane buying incentives, but the market is starting to become used to these insane buying incentives. I do want to point out that from October to right now, new home value has dropped over $60,000 for a decline of 16%. And this is a month-over-month frequency of median home sales price. Now take a look at this, guys. When we add existing and new homes and we break that down on a quarterly frequency, what I find especially important when looking at quarter over quarter is there's absolutely no value increase. So all of these cheerleaders saying we're hitting new records, this and that, understand how shallow this rebound really is. It is so shallow. We can't even see price increases on a quarter over quarter basis. And this updated July 26th. It went over the quarter two. You guys can see it goes to quarter two of 2023. The loss on this chart from peak to right now is 13%. However, when we look at Case-Shiller, which is a home value calculation algorithm, let's say, we can see this recent bounce in home values. Now, a bounce in home values is actually a normal part of a housing market crash and essentially exactly what happened during the great financial collapse in 2006 and in 2009. So although this is scary to a lot of people, I'm not scared about this little run up because a few reasons. One, it's normal. And number two, the equity run up is still not built on fundamentals and is still not sustainable. And that topped with overwhelming unaffordability. And here's a quick preview at the new Redfin report. We have 4 weeks straight of decline in median sales price. This is a beautiful thing, again, as long as you're paying attention. Let's talk about the square footage because a lot of people say, oh, the median sales price is only going down because houses are getting smaller. But the reality is actually, if we look at the start of this year, how the size of houses have actually skyrocketed upwards. So it's actually contrary to their belief. And I also wanted to point out that if we compare like year over year, the sizes of houses are like maybe 10 foot smaller when we compare year over year. So there's not a huge change in the size of houses, but I also thought it was very intriguing to see how seasonality plays a role in the sizes of houses. Isn't that really wild how that works? So the beginning of the year, houses get bigger, they plateau, and then they get smaller. Really surprising to see that. Now, going back into unaffordability, again, that's another factor on top of the massive equity run-up. And when we look at this chart here, we can see just how bad unaffordability is for the recent homeowners. I'm not talking about homeowners prior to 2022. That's a different world of people. I'm talking about recent homeowners. And look at this, 35.7% of household income going to only principal and interest on a mortgage. not even covering taxes and insurance. So when we throw taxes and insurance on that report, how much higher is it really? And again, remember what we want to see. We want to see 25% of your total household income going to paying off your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, because that's the reality of what you pay. People don't just pay principal and interest, people pay taxes and insurance as well. But overwhelming unaffordability. In fact, houses are more unaffordable right now than the last great financial collapse. Now, I think this map is going to help a lot of people that really don't understand what I'm saying. This map is basically breaking down the payment to income ratio and showing us the metro areas where it's the most expensive to live. And if you guys know, you can see that the West Coast predominantly is the most expensive place to live, even over the East Coast. Now, you can see, again, some places in California, 68% of median household income going to pay your mortgage. That doesn't work. And what else do we notice about these areas? These are some of the leading areas of price decline. These areas led price decline. Look, we got Seattle, we got areas in Oregon as well. Look at some of the places in Texas. And I believe that's why we didn't see as much price decline up in the north right here, because it's comparatively more affordable to live. And I just wanted to point out again, Florida. Florida did remain resilient in 2022, but that has already started to change in 2023. Big reason that is, on top of the equity run up, is people quite simply cannot afford to pay their house payment. Now, here's what the equity run-up looks like. And here's what I'm saying is not built on fundamentals. This is the median sales price for sold homes in the United States. And I just wanted to point out one really, really important thing, and that is the size of the bubble compared to this last bubble right here. So this bubble right here, going from about 2022 to about 2009, was way smaller, you guys. It was way smaller than the bubble that we have right here. And look at this, look at it start to collapse. Now, people aren't paying attention to this collapse because it still feels so unaffordable, so they can't feel the decline in prices. But the decline in prices and value is significant because it not only affects homeowners, it affects the entire economy. Now, one article that I really love that was released August 4th is this article, Housing Market Head Fake, Boise Slips Back into Correction Mode After Seeing Just a Modest Spring Price Bump. And that's what's going on right now, I believe, in the nation. And what I really want to point out, you guys, now that Boise is crashing once again, is look at the Case-Shiller chart. This is a Case-Shiller chart. This is why when people say home values have only gone down once in 2008, they're crazy. Home values went down almost every recession, including the 70s and 80s. You can see that right here. Look at going from 1975 to 1988. Home values went down periodically in Boise. This is Case-Shiller. We can see this. Now look at this, okay? Let's go down here. Now in Boise in 2006 had 4 months, 1, 2, 3, 4 of a decline. Let me go back over here and show you. Okay, 5 months of decline and 4 months of rebound, almost the same as what's going on right now. Now, I call this a rebound right here, or dead cat bounce, sucker's rally, whatever we want to call it, but that was followed by 3 years of price decline, guys. So again, here's the dead cat bounce last time. This is, yeah, home values only go up. They never go down, just refinance later. Oh, just kidding. Here's 3 years of decline. You're welcome. So I'm just saying that something similar can happen right now. Now, when we go to what's going on in Boise right now, look at the pace of the price decline. Exceeding the great financial collapse started price decline. I mean, this is massive price decline. And look at this, you guys, just like 2006, Boise had 1, 2, 3, 4 months of improvement followed by a start of decline. In fact, again, right now, home values are declining in Boise. Did y'all know that? Here you go. I'll link this report in my description. So overall, I would say that caution is a definite must, but some people don't want to listen to me. Some people want to listen to realtors, or maybe they don't want to listen to realtors. And in fact, some people get tired of listening to me. And when I hear people saying that, I say, okay, I get it. Maybe I'm annoying. Maybe I'm abrasive. I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to be transparent and forthcoming. But if you don't want to listen to me, for the love of all that's holy, please listen to the buyers that purchased in 2023. Because if you do, you will see that 93% of buyers in 2023 have buyers regret about their home buying experience. That is up from a 72% buyers regret in 2022. too. Now, when all is said and done, what I'm going to do with this information is I'm going to triple down on my preparations on the sideline. I'm going to increase my purchasing power by improving my credit, by saving more money, by rearranging my spending habits, and making as much money as possible at my current employer. And I would really strongly encourage any potential future home buyers to start interviewing realtors right now and have those realtors do something called a market analysis so that you understand the trends of data in your own local housing market. And I provide you guys multiple videos on how to do that. A lot of that content is in my lives. Other than that, guys, I really hope you like this presentation. One more time, if you can, like this video and shoot me a comment below. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck and I hope you win.